Okay. That just means you'll have less to say, Wisp. It's okay.
Hawk has talked more than I.
Well,
Okay.
if you say so.
I forgot this was a who can talk the most. Just
All right. Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Smudcast number 471. This is people being unhappy about diversity casting in Amazon's Lord of the Rings from Double Toasted. If you guys don't know, Double Toasted is pretty much a podcast where they talk about media, and their takes are they're good, they're bad, they're kind of a mix, depending on your opinions, of course, of media.
good, bad, and cringe.
Sometimes they do good ones, sometimes they do very accurate ones, sometimes they do very bad ones. I heard the one with Bebop, and I was laughing because it was so bad. They liked it. Good for them. You know, that's their taste. But here we're going to be talking about diversity casting in Amazon's Lord of the Rings. In case you don't know,
It's a euphemism. It should be called token casting because that's what it is.
Well, the executive producer, Lindsay Weber, I think her name, she's the one who did, she was a producer for Star Trek something. I can't remember which one. One of the Star Treks.
One of the shitty ones?
Probably the latest one. I don't remember what it's called. No,
Don't say.
No, the movie, the J.J. Abrams,
What, Beyond?
Was it Beyond? Is that the latest one? I can't remember the name of it. Anyway.
Yeah, Star Trek Beyond.
So she's
that
doing.
was done by one of the guys.
Beyond reference.
Furious.
Right. So she's the producer for, or one of the producers, the executive producers for this show on Amazon Prime. And she was saying, well, you know, it's for everyone. The Tolkien's for everyone to read. It's like,
yeah,
no.
it is, but that doesn't. No. Tolkien is for everyone to read, but that doesn't mean that everybody is of a random race, and then we suddenly have black, gray elves who should be so pale that they shine like moonlight.
Well, right. The fans of shows like this don't really care about race. They don't really care about anything aside from the book.
They're not fans of they're not fans of the content. They just want swirling lights on the screen.
Well, what I'm trying
they're not fans of anything.
You could give them soap operas, they would be happy.
What I'm trying to get at is the fans don't really see race. They don't really care about race. They care about the lore. And this has always been a lore argument from the fans because we always reference the books. And of course, the adaptation argument comes along and says, well, you know, they hire who they can hire. And I say, you're right. You know, let's imagine Heath Ledger was a black man. And I'd be like, okay, sure. Let's imagine that. The Joker is now covered himself in white paint. I'm like, all right, white face, cool. I'm okay with that. Does it really matter if the Joker's white or black underneath? No, I don't think so. So it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't matter.
Unless it's Black Joker from Batwoman.
Like going back to the lore argument, it's like this: what the Middle Earth games. As much as I love those games, in terms of the consistency with everything else, it's the equivalent of flushing a toilet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I imagine,
despite how good those two games are, which say what you want about them, they are really good games.
Well,
they're just completely inconsistent with everything else.
Okay,
which is the turning point there.
I like the other example because we've had movies to Amazon. Another movie that does the same thing is called Reacher, and if you don't know Reacher, it was a few films from Tom Cruise. He was the star.
It's a book series,
right? From Lee Child, right?
I've read them, yeah.
And Lee Child,
the Jack Reacher novel.
Jack Reacher, yeah. And now they're doing a series, and they cast another person who is actually tall and buff and looks exactly the way he should. So
because Jack Reacher's 6'4" or something.
Yeah, he's huge. He's a mountain.
Yeah. And they cast Tom Cruise.
Right. And Lee Child said in an interview recently, well, not recently, but a few months ago, he's saying it comes down to what the fans want, not what the executives want, not what, you know, the guy paying the bills to make the movie wants, or not what Tom Cruise wants. He even admitted Tom Cruise is not a very good looking Jack Reacher. So, and he even said, if the fans want to cast, go for it. I don't care. If you think you have the talent, I want a good looking Jack Reacher. That's it. This is the creator of the book series who says, I want this thing for the fans. And that's what the fans wanted. It's the same thing with manga and anime. If there's enough fans demanding an adaptation, they're going to give the fans what they want. It has nothing to do with the executives. And when we have these interviews with Lindsay Weber and these other, I don't know how many executive producers there are. There's probably a whole bunch. These days there are usually like 4 or 5 saying, oh, this
like
is
12.
Yeah, this is for everyone. Nowadays, if you can't accept a Hispanic elf or a black dwarf, then you're not a fan. It's like, wait a second, slow down here.
I remember Highlander 5, the opening credits.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Which Highlander?
80%, I knew you would do that. 80% of the opening credits is producers and co-producers.
Yeah.
Not writers, not sound, not actors. It's producers, other producers, co-producers. It's just producers over and over for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, same with Picard.
That's the height of the Weinstein era.
Yeah, it's getting sad where there's all these people have their hands in the kitchen or standing in
and
the
it's
kitchen.
just shit. Producers are shit at making movie decisions. They're good at giving money. They're shit at making movie decisions. Keep the producers out of the kitchen.
All right, that's a good. I think
let them buy the ingredient. Let them pay for the ingredients, but don't let them annoy the cooks
or change the recipe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we also point out the fact that producers, well, I'm going to say producers, but like Picard and everything, how they've now made that in present day Los Angeles or 2024 Los Angeles. And I'm just like, oh great, Star Trek. That's where we're going with it. To Los Angeles 2024. Why? Is it because most of the people there look like fucking aliens? But no, that's true.
Yeah, no.
These people don't know how to make anything at all.
Anyway.
And I just can't wait for this Lord of the Rings to just turn into like modern day people just dressed up in Lord of the Rings cosplay.
It's become a series of dominoes we've been watching on Netflix and Amazon Prime of all these shows that are adapted and they're just failing, looking bad.
Miserably.
Yeah.
Oh, it's embarrassing, really.
Yeah. So
and
anyway,
make present day politics references and jokes.
Yeah. So let's jump into the video right now. We got a super chat from Batkid, the Jedi Bendu. I remember you, sir. How's it going? Thanks for the 10. It's hilarious how Corey argues about an adaptation being unfaithful to the source material in Uncharted, but defends Lord of the Rings of Power being unfaithful to the source material because POC are in it. I don't know. He has some good takes. He has some bad takes. I don't know why he's this way about race so much.
Because he's a racist.
Okay, maybe. but if you like something, you should appreciate where it's coming from and respect why it was written the way it was. And
listen, all I can say is this: all these people talk about adaptation doesn't matter. But I swear to God, if they redid Harry Potter and Dumbledore wasn't gay, they'd all be up in arms about it.
Oh,
he's not.
So it's but yes.
Anyway,
he is, but that's what I mean. It's not about the argument comes down to this. It's not about the fact that adaptation isn't important to these people. It's as long as the thing pushes the agenda, that's perfectly fine. It could be anything at all. They do not care about it. So
if it's something they do care about, and you change the ideology relevant parts of that in a new adaptation, a modern adaptation, they would try to they will send you death threats. Yeah. They do care about adaptation. They do care about lore accuracy when it is in accordance with their ideology, with their fetishes. When it is not, then they care about in the sense that they want to change whatever you have into being in accordance with that. These people are you could say they are culturally imperialist zealots. Everything has to abide by their standard.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, let's get going. This is a 24-minute video. I doubt we'll get through all of it today, and I doubt we'll continue tomorrow. We just want to get these guys' takes, see why they're bad, see if they're good, and comment on them. So let's get going.
We can have elves, we can have dragons, we can have dwarves, we can have hobbits, we can have dudes turning into bears, we can have a big ass eyeball shooting lasers and blowing up castles. But the moment we get a black elf, that's when you lose your shit.
Yeah, because there are no black elves, you fucking idiot. You never read Lord of the Rings. You never read any other materials.
Hold up, West.
There are black people in Middle-earth. They're just not relevant to this story in the Third Age. That's why you didn't see them. Or, well, you did see some of them. Recruited by Sauron's army.
Also,
you could tell stories with them. You could tell a story in with the Easterlings.
Mm-hmm.
But you just want to be a cool elf that shoots the bow and jumps from tree to tree and hugs trees and probably sticks his dick in one.
Well, in my case, as I said, the argument for a black actor doesn't personally bother me if the actor is really good. It fails in the visual department, obviously, because to me the casting is the most important. If they look like the part, you're already halfway there.
If you make a new universe, I don't give a shit. You can have your black elves. There is in Dungeons and Dragons, there are elves with dark skin. No problem. This is Lord of the Rings. Not a thing. You already have. We have rules in this world already. You want to do a story in this world, you have to abide by the rules.
Yeah, but as well, you also have to remember that this obviously character here is a brand new character. He's not from anything in Lord of the Rings, so they've made this character up.
Yes, they completely made him up. And yes, Ken Kaneki in the chat says it. Elves are not white in Lord of the Rings. They are ethereal beings. They're very pale. They have this is something they couldn't really translate into the movies. How elegant they move. It's almost like watching very, very manifest spirits, because this is where the elves that Tolkien related to were the ones worshipped by the Celtic and Norse people, which were described like, if you translate it into using other words to describe it, seemed like angelic creatures. They have a shine to them, a glow, and they don't move. They look, if you have them still, they look similar to humans, but when they move, it looks unnaturally elegant, like you're watching a movie on a too high frame rate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I also say is, a lot of the characters that are being named and coming out, apart from Galadriel and everything like that, a lot of them you start hearing this brand new character who's just created for the series, this brand new character who's just created, and you're like, hold the fucking phone here. If you're doing the Lord of the Rings story, you're like, if you're just making up these new characters, why didn't you just make up a new universe? And I know Whisp will chime in, we'll watch it, but that's my point. It's a bit like when all the first thing up on my phone is, this is a new bad guy, blah blah blah. He's a brand new creator for this show. It's like, oh, right, okay.
They could have. You know what would be a thing to entertain? Making movies in the Overlord universe. It's a wacky fantasy universe. You can have whatever races in there. You have your hippie elves that worship a fat elven goddess. And it's fun, like it's Terry Pratchett level fun, but partially because it's written by his daughter. But go into any other fantasy world. Don't just ruin our shit.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
But like how painfully extensively Tolkien described elves, like this is just not fitting into the same universe. And yes. Like I, too, as Smud said, I would accept if there was played by any actor, really, by any race. But how this is going to fail is by the dialogue and like the story itself, because it has absolutely no substance. It's not gonna have any. Like I have saw,
it's gonna be
which might be a leaked screenplay of the dialogue, and it looks like a CW show.
Yeah, it looks like a cheap soap opera.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Lord of the Rings. These are not elves. Elves don't talk like that. And just in the first movie, the way Hugo Weaving portrayed Elrond, just the way he stands there, the slow movements, Galadriel, slow movements. That's elvish. This guy, this is just a guy. He's flesh. He's mortal. This is not an elf. He just put on some plastic Spock ears.
What if this is just an elf? He's just only doing blackface.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
Oh my god, just
It was a
Star
joke,
Trek
Whisp.
Voyager.
Don't they take it seriously?
Tuvok in Star Trek Voyager makes for a better elf than what these people are doing to Lord of the
I
Rings.
never saw anything beyond TOS.
Yeah, but he plays the Vulcan like you could expect an elf in Lord of the Rings. He's black, but at least he knows how to play that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I could buy that for me. It would still not fit the world.
All right. Let's continue.
The guy seems to get it at least.
That's when you're saying, well, wait a minute. That's not realistic. If we're talking about
I don't think anyone's ever said
Straw man,
fantasy
the-
genre.
It's
straw man,
realistic. It's
straw man.
believable because it's not fitting into the universe that Tolkien created. It's
The
like
minute
because
you-
Tolkien, when he wrote Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit before, it was early 20th century Britain, and none of this shit is fitting into it. It's fine. In the 21st century, we have like all kinds of people here now. But like in the context of that era where he was writing it, and the lengthy description of how those people look like, it does not fit in with the universe.
Yeah, this is based on our ancient ancestors' mythology. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years ago.
You know what the major problem is, and I'll always repeat it. It's modern day Americans not realizing that other countries aren't exactly like America.
Yes, and
They
whenever
seem
it
to-
occurs,
they
they
seem-
just like can't believe that we are like this.
Yeah, they look
Which
at Britain
makes
and go,
them
well, Britain,
extremely prejudiced and racist.
yeah, because it's just like, well, why didn't Tolkien write about black people? Britain must have had tons of black people in the early 20th century. America had tons of black people. It's like, well, we didn't really transport them over here. What are you on about? They didn't come over here. Well, because like they always say like with our the black population of Britain actually comes from the Caribbean. They're not from Africa. Like there's like if you say Afro-Americans, you can't say Afro-British because it's not the same thing.
How did the black people get to the Caribbean?
Yeah, well, I know that, but we, the people who come over here from like, the Windrush generation from like Jamaica after the Second World War, so they've been there for quite some. Do you know what I mean? So again, it's a completely different thing, and like I said, Tolkien wrote this before the Second World War, when Britain was still a very white nation.
Then the thing is, he's saying realistic. That's how you get
Oh,
to
yeah.
straw man. That's a straw man.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
word he should be using is authentic, but he could not argue against authentic because this is inauthentic.
Yeah, as Mark said.
And what fans want is authenticity.
Yeah,
That's also why Wheel of Time is the series is bullshit, because it's not authentic.
right. Mark was saying how the word that he should have used is more like believable, because we are watching or reading a fantasy novel where it's not supposed to be realistic, but if it's relational to dragons and elves and dwarves and all these rock people or whatever, it's like, yeah, but if it's not described, because Tolkien, as we all heard from other people saying, Tolkien's very descriptive. He spends hours describing the trees and the water and the clouds and how the elves became the orcs and all these other fantastical aspects. That
He spends ages just explaining a fucking giant spider, for God's sake. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Even in The Hobbit, like he's describing so much. I believe like the last battle, it was just like so tired. He just said like, okay, Bilbo got hit on the head, so he felt cautious.
Yeah.
So he didn't have to describe all the other events.
Yeah.
Because my God, the forest section, like
Yeah.
when they have to fight with the spiders, like that was like 30 pages of just that.
Yeah, and this black dude with his graying beard that he keeps probably only short so that we think he's still young and with the young kids and hey, and like the Steve Buscemi meme.
What do you do, fellow kids?
Why don't you write a fantasy story that's actually good, that has all your black people where you want them to be? Huh?
Oh,
Why don't you do that? Why don't you write a masterpiece? All right, you're incompetent and you're lazy. You're not even trying.
I just,
And that's
Me
why you don't have
personally.
it. That's why you latch onto the works of other stuff, people greater than you, because you're a lazy fuckhead and you're a racist
Okay.
and you're a
Alright.
narcissist because you want
Okay.
you want
Right.
yourself insert in everything.
Okay, one second.
Write your own stuff.
Wisp. Chill.
Make an American movie about the Shandor. African, I
Okay.
mean.
All right. Let's read some donations and super chats and get on going. Taker16,
Yeah.
thank you. We know that at least some orcs were formerly elves. Since people like extra credits think orc are black people, I guess there must be black elves or been black elves, and they became the orcs we know in this universe.
Yes,
Yes.
that was my first thought about it.
Yeah, I said that as well sometimes. Like, are they trying to make like? Because obviously, if they try and connect this to the movies in any way, because or the books, there's like a big question of where did all these black characters go? It's like, so what was the racial genocide in Middle Earth just before the Third Age, or what happened to everything? It's like it leaves uncomfortable questions.
All
So
right.
like everything.
Here is this Swedish chef. Thanks for the super chat. These people hate you. The show exists for no reason except to spite and demoralize you. Them pretending to care is a charade. Even they don't believe. I don't know. Obviously they mean well because they have all this money and they're being tasked with this job. I think their ideology just gets in the way of their thinking. And they try to rationalize it with, this is for everyone, therefore we're going to make it for everyone. And that, to me, means putting everyone in the film. And you're like, what? No. It's not.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Yeah. So, I don't know their mindset, but it's this bizarre form of logic I don't follow. Let's keep on going. Aron Harushan. Hey, dude, how's it going? Thank you. Saw an article talking about how the series might introduce guns into Middle-earth. I really doubt they care about any form of rules or sense. Okay, that is, yeah. Never heard that one before. That's great. That's crazy.
Why would you have guns?
So they can introduce gun control laws.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Turns out, yes, Sauron introduced guns to Middle-earth.
God, if they it's so funny
because Sauron was black, so like everyone was getting on him.
Yeah, that brings new definition to the castle doctrine. It's like they literally attacked my castle. Okay.
Not even the games did a stupid change like that, and those were closer to the woke movement than everything else.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's like we make jokes about it, but it's so possible to happen. It's like I live in a world where I could make a joke about Sauron like being at a no gun march or something, and it might actually happen. But it's like I could make 10 years ago. I could have made a joke about Sauron at a gay pride, and that's ridiculous. Nowadays, I'm like, he's probably he's like one adaptation away from doing that.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Orcs for queers.
Puts it perfectly. Frodo asking, "What happened to all the black elves, Elrond?" And Elrond replies,
Agent Smith laugh.
Yeah.
Literally, the Agent Smith laugh just for that joke.
Yeah.
All right. Here's Taker 610 for the 2. Thank you, sir. LOTR is very specially Northern European folklore, and everyone points to Tolkien as the de facto fantasy author of that time period.
Yeah, but Smud, Anglo-Saxons were black.
there are the oh god, I don't remember which sword it was,
Hawk from the
but
hood.
it was forged by black dwarves. But it was also cursed, so it was shit. So yeah, you could make some arguments if you want to go the Northern European folklore route, but they're not doing that. They're just shitting on what Tolkien derived from it.
Yeah, but Wisp, if you say the Northern mythology, there's those idiots out there who go, yeah, but Anglo-Saxons were black. And you're like, what? And they go, yeah, and Vikings were transgender women.
They can't even tell me. They can't even tell me. These people. I've seen their argumentation. They can't even tell what Anglo-Saxons are. they say, oh, they're native to Britain. And there were black people with blue eyes. What the fuck is wrong with you? The Anglo. So, first off, it's two tribes. That's why it's called Anglo-Saxon. It was the Anglos and the Saxons. The Saxons are still in Germany. The Anglos moved over. They were northern Germany. You know what Anglo means? We called them Angeln. Angel means fishing rod or fishing. They were fisher. They were fishers. So you're fishers and Saxons.
I'm really enjoying the fact that a German is telling a British person what an Anglo-Saxon is.
Led by Sexton Hill.
Well, they were German. The Anglos and the Saxons were Germanic tribes.
No, yeah, but the Angles. The Angles were in what became England. Hence why they're called Angles, because it was Angleland.
No, they came from northern Germany, from the coast, the right side of Denmark.
Okay.
Is this the same argument that everyone came from Africa, except like Germany this time?
No, it's one shitty tribe, for fuck's sake.
No, the Saxons are different. The Saxons invaded. No, but the Saxons invaded
Whisp,
England.
have you seen their teeth? Do you think it's German?
The what?
Never mind. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's just move on with this guy's strawman argument. I don't have the time or the effort to go through the entirety of British history to explain why Anglo-Saxons.
I've seen enough Red Dwarf to decide that.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, here's great Scott.
Considering the fact that the Vikings, the Romans, and the Normans all screw up everything anyway.
That's true. Okay. Let's not do a history lesson yet. Okay. Let's keep on going. Great Scott, thanks for the 3. Can't wait to see how Amazon butchers Fallout next. What? They're doing Fallout? What?
Yeah, baby.
Oh my god.
No, not Fallout 2. Well, then again, 76 kind of started it, actually.
Okay, probably via making the super mutants gay and making the NCR the absolute best thing to happen to the Fallout world.
No.
The master is going to be transsexual.
No. If Amazon did Fallout, you know the NCR would be a terrible capitalist hellhole, but Kaiser's Legion would be like great.
Like the commie saints.
Yeah, the communists would somehow agree with.
Well, yeah, Jason Woodward says that Kaiser's Legion was communist. We should tell you a lot of how communists see communism.
Well, they just saw the crucifixion of Nipton and went, "Yep, that's communism, brothers." You're like, Jesus, really? Oh.
All right, guys, let's keep on going.
A character, a popular character, and we're just changing the race or the gender or the sexuality for no reason other than just to appease a certain group. Okay, we might have a discussion then.
Yep.
That's fine. We can talk about that. But that's not the problem here, y'all. That's not the problem with this new Lord of the Rings or any other kind of fantasy thing that's coming out.
Oh, the intro.
Okay.
But
hey everyone, the Double Toasted Live Tour is coming to an end with our final
what
show
did he
in
say?
Dallas,
I
Texas,
was
February 18th at
skip this.
Viva's Lounge. Somebody named DT Listener. Thank you. Very nice name. Very straightforward. Very flattering. He says, hey, Corey and the DT crew. With the release of The Lord of the Rings of Power. Mm-hmm. And that's the one that's on Amazon.
Prime.
Amazon Prime right there.
I know black people are obsessed
Arrow
with power.
Is in Middle Earth now.
Happy as hell.
Even Middle Earth is getting Amazon packages now. So and little golems are taking it.
Day delivery.
Yep. One delivery to rule them all. But people. He says there are comments that are about non-white characters in Euro fantasy settings. Mm-hmm. I will admit that it took me a second to get used to this in his Dark Materials and Witcher. Mm-hmm. On one hand, if the fictional society thinks of themselves as a homogeneous society with a strong sense of group and national identity,
genius. I mean homogeneous.
Japan. Then being multiracial could be jarring and suspend this, and it will
break immersion.
He missed some words here, but he says it will ruin suspension of disbelief. But on the other hand, we have Game of Thrones, where each region has a defined look, accent,
Yes, the same is true in Lord of the Rings and Middle-earth, you bloody dunce.
And culture. Even though the actors themselves are from different races, I think that this is the right thing to do, but...
See, that's you think it's the right thing to do. Why do you think it's the right thing to do?
The people in Dawn are obviously completely different ethnicity, just as the Dothraki are.
Yeah,
but they are a consistent ethnicity.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Why?
It's the same in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but here's what I'm trying to get at here.
You'd have to say Wheel of Time if you did it right.
Yeah, Wisp. You're not. Listen, just listen to what I'm trying to say. It's not about what you said. Why do people think it's the right thing to do? What is wrong about just a straight up adaptation? What is wrong
with these people is
about
that
it? No, Wisp. What is wrong about it? Because once we find out what's wrong about it, we can find out why they think it's right.
They think it's wrong because they have only grown up in this basically since inception existing melting pot that is the United States, and do not actually know how any otherwise natural country, nation, tribe comes to be and has existed for the past, I don't know, 20,000 years, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, tribe is relatively homogeneous because they usually just fuck around within themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that.
Yeah.
And if, look, it's how it was for the Native Americans. And there were probably some clear distinctions in just looks, in height, in cheekbones, nose shape, how pronounced, what facial structure is what facial structure is prominent between the Native American tribes that existed. And that is if you cut away all the hair, all the ornamentation, whatever they used, you could just put people from one tribe in the left side of the room, from the other tribe on the right side of the room, then you take the third tribe, and you could just mix them randomly in the room, and you could easily sort them. You're probably with 90% likelihood from tribe A, you're from tribe B, you're from tribe C, you're from tribe A, B, C, A, B, and so on. Because when people only fuck within their ethnicity for several centuries, they tend to all look relatively similar, which is why we talk about inbred villages in the mountains, because it's usually what they are, because they only have like 200 people in them and never meet anyone from outside. There were villages in southern Germany that like these islands in the Pacific, where there was like one Japanese soldier who in 1970 still thought the war was on because nobody sent him the memo and nobody knew that he was there. There were villages that also still in the 50s and 60s thought, oh God, the war is still going on because there's only one stupid dirt road leading there, so nobody ever went there to tell them. And if you have a place that is that remote, it's very likely they're all very inbred, which means they all look very similar. The same is likely true for all the African tribes that jump around, where you can probably very likely say, that guy's from that tribe, that guy's from that tribe. And then you have the one tribe that has this peppercorn hair that no other human tribe anywhere has. Pretty easy to distinguish. These people don't just randomly pop up. You couldn't just say, oh, well, there's the peppercorn hair elf. No, that's a way too special and rare genetic trait. And these elves, they've been around for millennia. And they've been pretty inbred, very likely. You want to tell me that they have these super different looking people?
Yeah,
no.
They have the mountain elves that have the sun blasted on their skin for millennia as well. That's how they develop all that melanin.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's the Swedish chef for $5. I wonder what percentage of Middle Earth's population are elves and what percentage of violent crime they're responsible for. Oh. To an elf... What would be a violent crime for an elf? I guess it's killing all the humans.
Elf face?
That would be violent? I don't know.
I'd say it's a racial crime.
Oh, okay.
Going elf face. You could also say if you've ever played Shadowrun, which is a fantasy setting set in the modern world, which tries to do cyberpunk plus fantasy because magic is returning at the same time. And some people have, due to the magic coming up, genes activated that give them the features of the ancient magical races, like elves and orcs and dwarves. And so they slowly turn into those, and especially over the generations. And then there are people, humans, who are called elf posers and orc posers. They're not real elves or orcs, but they modify their bodies to look like them because they fetishize them and they want to be special.
Oh.
And that's been Shadowrun's the setting from the 80s and 90s.
Right. Well, I was thinking maybe there's like
predicted it all.
There's some crazy poisoner, someone who gets to get away with murder in the elven culture. Maybe they like poison the Lembas bread because it's all magic. So they have like some evil poisonal spell on the bread, and they get away with that. And it's been this century-long murder mystery, and maybe they can make a story about that. I have no idea. But they're elves. They live a long time. They respect everyone. I don't know what a crime would be for them.
They don't respect. They just frolic in the woods, and so that's all that elves do. Let's all admit, genociding the elves is not the worst thing that can happen.
Okay. Anyway,
I don't like that. I don't like elves. I really just I don't like them.
Yeah.
In any fantasy setting, if there's an option to murder every elf, it's like, oh yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, because elves come off as arrogant. That's the fantasy trope, and it's because they're so aloof. It's because they're secluded. They don't want to really have to do anything with the other races, and they get really pissed when you look at a tree the wrong way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Name one elf. Name one elf that you actually enjoy in fantasy settings. I'll wait.
That I don't want to kill?
Don't all answer at once, guys. Jeez.
The elves I don't want to kill? Dragon Age 2 Meryl. She's adorable.
No, she releases a demon.
Yeah, she's a bit crazy, but she's adorable.
Yes, well, she's adorable while that demon's chewing your face off. I'll remember that, Smud. Okay.
Every lady crazy when the daddy's not around.
Yeah, so I rest my point, considering that 4 people literally went, elves going to kill. Ask next question.
Okay, here's Great Scott. Thank you for 2. This is largely the same issue I have with Netflix Witcher. They have mostly creative control, enough to where they can create a completely new character from an exotic land like Zeracania in Witcher or Herod in Rings instead of race washing. Creative control is the problem with the adaptation, and in this case it's the black elf who's not a main character. He's not even a side character. They just invented him. And if they spend the extra time and they are allowed to do this by the Tolkien estate, whoever owns the rights to this thing.
So he's even a useless token.
Well, that's what it looks like. I don't know, because you would have more creative freedom to do that, and that to me is fine, but you would have to explain this entire other tribe and go through the Tolkien way of doing so and building up the backstory in the world and setting and the generations and where they came from and is he like a dark elf? What is that in the Tolkien world? How do they live? And what does that mean? Like, there's lots of things you have to go through to establish that, and for Tolkien or whoever is in charge of the Tolkien universe to say, okay, you can do this. So it's hard, not possible.
One thing I will say about The Witcher, though, in regards to that, is be very thankful that Henry Cavill is as much of a geek as he is, because all the changes that they've done, he's managed to mitigate a lot of them. They were going to do a hell of a lot more, but he stopped them doing a lot of stuff, a lot of big changes.
Oh, Superman went and said no.
Yeah, he literally went. He went. If you change too much, I'm not doing any more seasons with you. But if you cut it out. I'll be doing at least 7 for you. So they went, oh, well, yeah, we'll stop doing other stuff. So the ideology shit soon stopped when they thought we could get Henry Cavill for 7 seasons.
Yeah, that reminds me of an interview that, who's that famous black comedian with Oprah? He talked. Chappelle, Dave Chappelle. He was about to be in some film where they wanted him to wear a dress, and he said no. Mm-hmm. And he kept saying no and no and no until finally the writer and the producers got together, and 10 minutes later said, "Okay, we changed the scene." It's like, it took you 10 minutes to change the scene to still make it funny, so I don't have to wear a dress. Like, it's just a matter of the people in charge who are doing the film, like the actors, to put their foot down and say, "I don't want to do this." So
they were going to do a hell of a lot more shit, and Henry Cavill's like, "This is nothing like either the books or the games." He goes, "You're going to lose a lot of fans." He goes, "And you're going to lose me." And they're like, "Oh, well, we'll not do it." It's like, Jesus Christ! It's like, so you know it's bad, then why were you doing it in the first place? It's like,
all right,
why does it take? Hey, carry on.
Here's more great, Scott. Thank you, sir. Not only would that keep source material accurate based on time periods that were known for being very homogeneous, but also it would add to that character someone from a distant land rising to prominence, yet they're too lazy. That would be an alternate story. Yeah, you would have to, again, this would have to be getting acceptance from the estate or whoever's in charge of the license. You can't just own the license and do what you want. That's just a recipe for disaster, as we've seen with Star Wars. You have to actually talk to the guys, the lore masters, the creators, the guy who owns the thing, for authenticity reasons. Like, say I wanted to make a second Poirot series without Poirot. It's like, oh, whoa, slow down there. How the hell are you going to do that? And you have to talk to the Poirot estate and say, okay. Not the Poirot estate, the Christie estate. And say, okay, what can I do? Would Poirot ever have a child? Of course not. Okay, would it be a fan of Poirot? Like, what would that be? So you have to, like, come up with some new idea and follow the same formula, or else people aren't going to like watching ersatz Poirot, who's not Poirot, and not be in the same method or same style, because it wouldn't be a Poirot story. So what would be the point? So you'd have to take Tolkien, say this is a tribe of whatever that was far removed. They escaped from Mordor. They were about to be turned into whatever version of orcs, and they found their own region and escaped from that as well. And now they're in some other jungle. And then you say, oh, okay, now we have this enough backstory to explain why they are the way they are, why they're not as mystical and ethereal as the elves currently have been. So that would require backup and setup and exposition.
And even second, third edition Dungeons and Dragons had clearer rules for elves and other races.
Well,
then what they're doing making out of Lord of the Rings.
Right. Anyway, okay, here's one more from the Mechanist. We'll get back to the video. Thanks for the $1.11, as always. Okay, so assuming Amazon makes Fallout, oh boy, what should be my new avatar name? I'm thinking of going back to Congo Jack. All right. Also, all they need to do is remake New Vegas, and they will get their woke BS. Oh, okay. Remember that only Boone and Raoul aren't gay bi partners.
Oh.
I never remembered the sexuality of the companions because I don't care. They're good characters. I'll be honest with you, I played New Vegas quite a lot. I never got around to romancing fucking anybody, so I was just busy shooting people. Yeah, it's not really the focus of the game, and you want to know their backstory, you want to know their current story, you want to know where they're going, and all the stories are relatively interesting. I think Raoul's could use a bit more work. Boone's was fun. Veronica's was fun.
Boone's was fun. Yes, I love the story of a man whose wife was sold into slavery.
Yeah,
so that he murders a hotel owner.
But there's all that gameplay involved to connect with that, and then you have to go find his ex-unit or go back to the hill that all this tragedy happened, and then it's integrated into the game. It's a fun experience to go through all that and learn about.
Also, sniping someone from a dinosaur is quite interesting.
Yes, exactly. It's cool stuff. Anyway, there's one more super chat. Finally, get on with the video from Alexander Welch. The black guy is a Sindar, a gray elf. Is that a thing? The Sindar, really?
Oh.
Yeah, we talked about that. The palest elves around, and they made him black as night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I see. The major problem is when people say grey, it doesn't mean dark. Grey is quite a light, paley colour.
Yeah, it's more like a shiny glow. That kind of grey.
Okay.
But there are, like we admit, there are different things, but it's not. Right, I'm just going to put this down to like the brass tacks and everything. The reason why this character's black is not because they think it's the best actor. It's not because they think, oh, they read the source material and found it. Because let's put it this way, like we said in the green room, they are taking this Lord of the Rings Ring of Powers has taken most of their stuff from 4 little poems inside of Lord of the Rings. They didn't get any of the rights to anything outside of the 3 books of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. That's it. Right.
The only reason they make that one elf black is so that there is a black elf. Same reason why there is a black dwarf, so that there is a black dwarf. It's not about being good. It's not about the story. It's just so that every actual race, these are different races, humans, elves, dwarves, hobbits, that they are now all earth races.
Mm-hmm.
That you will then have Asian hobbits and Asian elves and Asian dwarves and all of it is nonsense.
And
it makes no sense because these people don't. So it's not that they don't understand it; it's that they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And as I think it was Daimon in the chat who said they don't care about actual quality of the show. Exactly, they don't care about the quality. That's why it looks like shit. That's why the effects look like shit. It looks like a backwater stage somewhere. It has a budget equivalent to the bloody movies from 20 years ago, and those movies visually still hold up. And 20 years later, and I don't think that has anything to do with inflation, they make absolute shite. That leads me to believe that just like the CW, it's a money laundering operation. They don't even bother to afford good writing. It
seems to be a lot of money spent on
teenage drama, soap opera written by an imbecile.
Okay.
It's like no offense, but you know the thing is, you know what they're going to start saying and writing in these stories. Everything just goes like clockwork each time, and it's just. Do we want to read that script excerpt that you found? But I found nothing at all.
Mark found it. I don't think.
Mark found. Okay. I don't look at these sort of. I've got better things.
It was a random tweet like a few days ago. I have came across it, and it was just a screenshot of like 2 or 3 characters talking with each other, and it was like 2 females supposedly.
Yeah, we can roll
and they were talking that like, oh, I'm feared. Why are you feared? I don't want to become like my dad. Because he died. Yes. Like that was basically the excerpt for that.
And then it's about, but I don't trust my I don't trust myself.
That's not
but
the
I
kind
trust
of dialogue
you.
that you have from talking.
It's like so dumb.
Anyway, let's get on with the video, see what else these guys have to say.
It only works if your casting, makeup, and set design are above par. How do you feel? Well, first of all, folks, so if you haven't seen this yet, we're talking about the Lord of the Rings prequel, not the one not the Peter Jackson one, but the prequel that Amazon has spent billions of dollars on.
Haven't you ever wondered?
Kind of cut from that.
So you get the idea right there. As you can see, just by some of the shots right here, that they are going for a more multicultural approach with Lord of the Rings, which will probably be the first time that we have seen it.
Hey, you idiot! You dense, brain-dead,
oh boy,
black supremacist, race-obsessed, egoistical idiot! The Lord of the Rings world, Middle-earth, is multicultural already because there are different cultures in it. What you call multicultural, however, is people within a culture having completely different skin color, being of different races, which they only could retain by being completely inbred within the societies they are in.
Yeah, you know what they're calling multicultural? Multicolor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what's multicultural to them, and they're stupid for it.
The thing is, like, I'm going to be brutally honest here. The only reason why any of this multicultural exists is because of the slave trade. Literally, the slave trade never. No, in real life.
The woke shit.
No, they can't let it go. They can't. The Americans cannot let it go that Americans used to be slaves. They just can't. It's like that happened a long time ago. No one else
The
is
same
alive.
way with the. It's their Nazi. It is their version of German Nazi.
Something
guilt.
like that. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
like,
but
who cares?
what I'm trying. Yeah, but it's what I'm trying to explain is because they've seen it happen there. They seem to assume that everywhere must be exactly the same. It's like it is such a. It's like America is a melting pot because of it, but it's the fact that it's the only place it's really happened in such a vast scale and everything like that.
So technically, we can blame Africa for this.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, always.
the Portuguese.
When in doubt, blame Africa. No, but the thing is, it's like this, and this is another problem with Americans.
No, I tell you why this happened with America. It's the only reason is because America didn't treat its slaves as shit as other countries that participated in the slave trade. Because America didn't cut off the balls of the men.
Well, okay. I really don't actually know what the Karen's saying.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, not wrong either.
What I'm trying to say is, everyone looks at it from this viewpoint of, oh, America's multicultural. Well, America's got a lot of different cultures in it. Let's put it this way: it's not multicultural. It's just got a lot of different cultures in the same, same landmass. With everything, everyone they see it like, well, we've done it. Everyone else must do it. Everyone else must be exactly the same as us. Everyone else must be the exact same. Every fantasy thing must be exactly like America. Every story, every book, every film, everything must be exactly like America. You're like, but it's not though. And it's
No normal person thinks that.
I'm going to say this. No offense, Americans, just because you don't have any actual proper culture and heritage and everything, and you think, oh, this is over nearly 50 years old, it's and all this sort of shit. Places in England are thousands of years old, with thousands of years of history and stuff. It's like, no. Do you know what I mean?
The mentality of these people are a little confusing to grasp and why they do these things, but this is still a very largely creative experience for them to take these poems and to create their own content from it. And I don't know who's the writer for this. Like, I'd have to actually research who's doing this work.
I don't know.
Yeah, like they would have to have some sort of caliber of skill and history to know Tolkien and then write about other stuff, not Tolkien. So it's tough.
The comparison to this would be if in a fictional timeline, if the Nazis had won and would have their big movie making industry and would make movies about mythologies of Africa and Asia, but claim that, well, this is not Aryan enough, and then put blonde, blue-eyed people everywhere, replacing the most important gods and historical figures with Aryan people, and then claiming that, well, originally it was all Aryans anyway, and the other races just stole our stuff. Because this is what these people are doing, just the other way around.
Yeah.
Smart, I looked it up, and I have no good news. Basically, it's written by Patrick McKay and John D. Payne, and both of them is going to have their writers and producer debuts with this Amazon series.
They're known for nothing else. This is their first.
Absolutely nothing. This is the first thing that they have ever been attached to.
The greatest cultural.
No. I'm sorry. Like Patrick McKay is apparently credited as an uncredited writer on Star Trek Beyond.
Great. So the greatest cultural treasures of our civilization are handed to absolute heck nobody.
Yeah, so the producer...
This reminds me, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this reminds me of that Berserk anime like 4 or 5 years ago, where they entrusted a studio who has never done any actual fantasy setting to like a studio that pretty much like does like girls are doing stupid shit kind of shows. And they entrusted them to like make like 24 episodes of Berserk, especially like the most detailed section of it. And it turned out to be a basic shit show because they didn't know how to 3D animate and they didn't know how to make a show.
So what happened was Lindsay Weber just went, "Hey, who's that Patrick guy that did the writing job for us on Star Trek? Yeah, get him. He'll do he'll be the main writer."
It's not even that. We were ringing people up going, "Hey, do you want to do this Lord of the Rings?" And then people answered, "No, I like my career." Put the phone down. got to this other guy who went, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it. It's a couple of million, isn't it? I'll never write again."
Whose idea was to play Beastie Boys in space? Oh yeah, it's him. Okay, let's get him.
Whose idea was it to win the day with Beastie Boys? Jesus fucking Christ. Thank you for reminding me of the fact that Star Trek Beyond, they solved the problem by playing the Beastie Boys.
Sabotage.
How could you... How do you ever write something like that, though?
Let's get through these super chats and we'll get on with the video. Great Scott, thank you. I agree that they should definitely follow up for any changes or additions. I just think it's better than outright making these nameless characters super multicultural just for the sake of it. Focus on 1 or 2 characters and how they fit into the plot. This is questionable because we don't know exactly who these characters are. We don't know what relevance they have in the story as a whole. And this is largely unheard of new stuff. So everyone's like, we don't know what to expect. I'm sure the acting could be great. I'm sure the plot could be great. But
I wonder how easily these characters can be cut out of the show for the Chinese market without affecting the rest of the show.
So easily. I mean, like, incredibly easily, to the point where
they're gonna have like a specific effect on those actors to turn them into some other race, like because like they have perfected their face swap.
That's right. Yeah,
deep fake, isn't it?
Deep fake. Yeah.
Yeah, we swap it out, and it's just, oh my god! Imagine if we just swap out all those people, just like redo it as like Tom Cruise.
No, like Mao Zedong.
Everyone's Tom Cruise. All right,
every black character is actually Tom Cruise, even the female ones.
Let's switch gears back to the Mechanist, who likes talking about Fallout. Thanks again. Veronica is the worst because through her random dialogue, she keeps bringing up that she's gay. Not that much, but her quest is about convincing the Brotherhood for new recruits because of lack of kids. She's over 30 years old and acts like she's 16 and has a Karen hair. You know, she was interesting. It is kind of funny how the Brotherhood is dying, and yet she's gay. But you know, to each their own. She has her own problems. She really wants to find love, and she's just your normal average girl who likes to punch things. So, I sort of like, hey, that's kind of cool. It's kind of sad because her whole story is sad, but that's the Brotherhood in that scenario.
What is it Rose of Sharon Cassidy?
She is a child of the guy from, I think, Fallout 1, was it?
2.
Fallout
2.
Yeah.
And she owns a caravan, and she's down on her luck. Her dad's caravan got destroyed, and she has the name. So she's like, well, what am I doing with my life? Let me get rid of this thing. And while she's in the process of doing that, you investigate who has the name now and what happened to her dad's caravan. So this whole trek across the whole map, really, to discover why her dad's caravan got attacked. And it's interconnected with a bunch of other groups. It's cool. It's a cool story. Like, these are all great stories. And that's why I keep playing these games every year, because they're just fun.
Yeah. No. I enjoy it. I might actually get out New Vegas again at some point.
Yeah, no, she was great. She drinks whiskey and lobs sticks of dynamite. She's hilarious.
Yeah, no, that's why I usually picked her. Also, she's one of the first ones you get, and you're like, oh, it's kind of easy now.
She's great.
Just sent her at it.
Shotgunning her way through the waste. It's fantastic. All right. Thanks for the change of topic. We'll get back on to the original. Laparca.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, no. oh, darn. Lord of the Rings. I hate that topic. Laparca, 1138. Thank you. For people that are supposed to be anti-racist, they sure like to dwell on race a lot. Yes, this is the whole
because
thing.
that's what anti-racism is.
Yeah.
They just put an anti before the racism and tell you that's how it's not racist.
Yeah.
No, non-racism is not racist.
They want to
Anti-racism is deliberately racism with the arrow of who does it to whom switched around and said it's okay when you do it this way. They are racist. Everybody who calls himself an anti-racist is an admitted racist.
Right. They want to keep talking about race, even though the way to not be racist is to stop talking about race. It's very simple.
They want to judge people based on the color of their skin. That's racist.
All right. Let's keep going. Taker 610. Wheel of Time and LTR are tax write-off schemes. We heard that one before.
It seems that way, and personally, I'm at the point where I think any artist who does stuff like that to great works of art should hang.
But Jesus Christ!
I'm done with it. These people shit all over culture, all over our childhoods, all over the next generation. I'm done with it. No, these people are evil.
All right.
I mean, I'm not going to hang them, though, West. I mean, Jesus. But...
What do you want to do? They just keep continuing it. Throw them in a cell. Okay, then do that.
Okay.
Oh,
anyway, let's keep on going. Porcelainus the Fourth again. Thank you, sir. Christ, this nigga looks like he died last week, and I'm so sick of hearing takes on LTR and Tolkien-related media from people who aren't familiar or just hate it and think it needs to be changed. Tolkien has more talent than you accept it and move on.
God, Smud, the way you...
You know what? I noticed it. I was like, these are not my words. I'm just reading someone else's words, so it doesn't really matter.
This nigger. It's like, you know what the word is.
Yeah. If I have a nice long E vowel, it's okay, right?
Yeah, sure. Okay,
Sure.
then. It's not really.
Can't hear it the proper way. Yeah, it gets a little sad. I got a little disgusted after all the Marvel films got bad, and the Marvel series got bad, and then all the comic book stuff got bad, and you're just like, okay, is there anything left that I can look at a good piece like Watchmen? Can I just have a good Watchmen story?
No.
No.
Please.
No, Watchmen ruined comics.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't argue that. That's true. For good and bad. Anyway. Great, Scott. And then we'll finally get on. Anyone who says they're an anti-racist is a racist. Agreed. And the same can be said of Antifa Wisp. That's a next level. That's like just your BLM and the
it's the same. It's the same. The anti-racist stuff is derived from the Antifa stuff.
Well, I would say the Antifa actually shoot and hurt and kill. And the BLM just sort of dance around the ideas.
No, it's a product. It's a copy of it, just with another topic. Antifa are fascists. They call themselves, but they put the anti before it so that they think they can confuse people with it, and it works enough with the gullible, the naive, and the young. And because they tend to be that, they tend to be inexperienced. That's why they go for them explicitly. Anti-racism is the same strategy. You could say it's the same way that the Democratic Party is actually anti-democratic. They just leave the anti away and call themselves democratic. It's the same way. They're the opposite of what they call themselves. It's always that way. That's the standard left-wing trick. Call yourself the opposite of what you are.
All right. 3 minutes, 30 seconds. We're never gonna get this done today, but we'll just.
No, I'm just gonna be honest with you. This entire podcast that is going to be we're gonna listen to is gonna be just Strawman, and it's just gonna be him going, well, it's a fancy thing, so there should be black people there. It's like, oh, okay.
Because it's
That's not
real, there should be black people everywhere, so I can see myself.
Because I'm such a mindless moron. I have to see a black person, otherwise I can't enjoy entertainment. It's like, go watch Crime Watch.
Shows.
Just watch, like, Cops or something if you want to see black people on TV. There's plenty of them. you know what I mean? America's Most Wanted. Just do what us normal people do if you want to see black people on TV. Teenage, what was it, 16 and pregnant or something? I don't know.
Okay. Anyway.
Well, like over here we have a show called Who Do You Think You Are? And everything about ancestry. I always watch for the black people because at least they find out who their dads are.
You could watch from South African looting. You see a lot of black people too.
Cool.
Watch Zulu.
That's a very romantic movie.
Yeah, it is a romantic movie.
All right, let's go.
On this scale right here. Now, I want to get you guys' opinions right here. I definitely want to hear what you have to say. But this is this is kind of a interesting subject with me. It's almost a sore point with me.
Could I go first?
No, you cannot. Sorry, no, you cannot. Just hold tight. Don't get antsy and anxious.
Oof.
Listen, y'all. I don't like this expression that I'm about to say because it's so dismissive. It's a way to just shut down any discussion that might be productive. But I'm gonna make an exception here.
You're gonna say
Get
that
the
anyway?
over it. For real, y'all. I mean, seriously, I don't.
No, you fucking asshole. You fucking racist, culturalist asshole. You get over it that your fucking skin color is not in every fucking piece of culture, art, mythology, and history in Europe. Go Africa. You have rich culture there, but you do not care to look at it. You fetishize Africa without knowing anything about it. You couldn't name me a single mythological figure of Africa.
But clearly
That's how
white
black
culture
you
is
are.
more superior, so they have to invest in it.
You are so black that you can't name me a single African mythological figure.
Well, the one thing you don't
No.
do...
He'd go. Well, obviously Cleopatra.
Well, what you don't tell...
That's what, okay. That still plays into what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
These assholes don't know anything.
Yeah, you don't...
They have something they could draw from. They could make something from. But they don't go there.
Like, who killed Captain Alex?
Yeah, what you don't do is you tell the fan
Get
base...
over it, you black fuckface. You You hate everything about me. I call you being black. You want to be called being black. You want everyone to see that you're black. It's the most important thing in your life, in your mind, in your consciousness, if you even have one. That you are black. You want everyone to see it, everyone to acknowledge it. So I'm calling you that. But at the same time, you are absolutely vapid and void. Under your skin, there is nothing but a black void. There is no substance. There are people with substance. You're not one of them.
Wisp. Okay. Jesus Christ. We get it. Okay.
Oh, boy.
God, I'm so fed up with these people.
Yeah, Wisp. We get it. He's black. Calm down.
Yeah, he's black and empty.
Okay, right.
All right. Okay. Yeah. One response you don't give to fans is get over your fandom.
Yeah.
That's not what you say.
Oh man. I want Matthias to like clip that. I really do, because
have a picture of like Justin True in the background. That'd be perfect.
Yeah. I just I don't know what to say after this, really. It's just like, Wish has literally just said everything that all of us are thinking, really. I'm just like, okay.
I am done with being polite to these assholes, to these racist, culturalist assholes. Because we've tried for decades.
Wisp, you can't say I'm
bouncing over us.
I've known you for over a year now. I've not heard you once be polite to someone like this. You've gone off on a massive rant. I'm done being polite.
All right, well, let's try watching the next 2 minutes. And if you're still on the same topic, we're going to stop because I think we know where this entire discussion is going to go. And unless these two other guys have some counter arguments or something.
He shut up the white guy straight away. Well, I want your opinions. White guy goes, "Can I speak?" He went, "No." It's like, oh, okay then.
Yeah. So
then Whisp just went, "Well, you black fuckface." It's like, Jesus Christ, man! Why you just call him a nigger? Just get over and done with.
Black supremacist fuckfaces.
I should not be laughing this hard at that. I'm into hell. Oh, anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah, let's see how far he gets with this. Just swear at them. I was like, no, it's not a good one.
Understand this, man. You know, people, y'all know the Lord of the Rings is not real, right?
Mm-hmm. Wow, really?
This is the one.
Okay,
no way.
Me, Thunderdome.
No, we're not.
What? What are you talking about?
You me the right stock right now, buddy. I'm gonna burn down your arguments.
This is the most insulting argument ever. It's not real, so we can put our race shit in there. Okay. Then we can have Ginger Black Panther. We can have all white African mythology movies. We can have that. We can make a documentary about Martin Luther King Jr. and have him played by a white guy.
Oh, no, dude.
Same with Ryan Gosling and all these other people.
Get like a bunch of furries to play all the black people. That would be.
Oh, that would be amazing. Oh, I mean, yeah.
It's not
furry Black Panther. Oh my god. We're like they're more doing like instead of doing like the little salute thing, it's just them fisting each other because they're all fucking degenerates. Wakanda forever is someone's armed up his asshole.
Yeah, so the genre argument does not really work. No. You could say it's just a fantasy, it's just a sci-fi, it's just a slice of life, it's just a this, it's just a that. It's
like I said, Harry Potter's not real, right? Dumbledore's not gay, right? And then
this is the same fucking movement. This is the same fucking movement that wants to tell us Beethoven was black. Some English queen was black.
What?
Anne Boleyn was incredibly black. She was going around. She went to Henry VIII. Went, yo, my nigga, you want to put a baby in me? Oh no, bro, I ain't got time for that. Me and my sisters, we going down to Oxford to shake it up with Shakespeare or whatever. I don't know. I can't speak black, y'all. Like this guy. He says y'all a lot.
Oh, okay. Well, this has been the most racist video we've ever, or the most racist response we've ever had.
Are you sure? Because we have covered by this show.
It's true. We did cover.
Hang on. Also, hold on. We can't be the most racist response. We haven't got Bears on.
That's true. We haven't brought him on.
Yeah. He'd be throwing the N-word out left, right, and center.
Yeah. All right. One more from Great Scott, and then we'll try and keep going with this video. Again, just another minute and a half, because he's not...
Yeah, really... this argument seems like... We've heard this argument a million times.
It's not even intelligible to argue, because it's just like, it's the genre. It's like, no, that's not an argument. You can't use that.
This isn't real, so why do you want to...
Well, that's even worse. That's like, this is a story. It's not even real. It's like, yeah, what's your point? Yeah. Anyway, Great Scott, thanks for the one. Can we make a new German rocket called the Whisp missile and shoot it at the liberal art student sculptures? There are liberal art student sculptures? They make things? And the blackwashed social studies textbooks. Clearly, the host of this podcast is suffering permanent brain damage from soaking those books up. I don't know. I think this is just a bad take.
The thing is, and I'm going to have to explain. Wouldn't you realise that 90% of the population don't have any imagination beyond the bare basics of stuff of I want money or anything like that.
Yeah, nothing. They have no imagination at all. Imagination is actually a very rare trait.
Yeah,
which is scary, baffling when you look at the statistics.
Well, it's like
there are
when
papers on this. It is absolutely mind-boggling.
There's people who don't dream. You have to remember that as well. There's people who can't picture stuff in their heads.
There are people who don't have they don't have an inner monologue, and they can't imagine anything beyond their inner eye. And it's lots of them.
Yeah, and once you realise that makes up a vast majority of people, you start to realise why such bare basics crap is popular, because they don't want to think too hard. They don't want to go out of their way to. It's why people don't spot. It's why a lot of people don't spot plot holes until you tell them about it.
Yeah, they only see the scene in the moment, and that's okay. Then the next scene happens. Scene within itself is okay. They do not put scene versus scene together in their heads because they can't, and then they would see the plot hole and think like this is weird, this is bullshit, this is dumb. They just can't. They're cognitively not capable of it.
Think of how many times you've asked a friend or something, one of your normie friends, what did you enjoy about this movie? And then they look at you like the movie they've just seen, they can't even remember it. But it'll happen so many times. Where
it's all just blinking lights on the screen. That's enough.
It's like
that's enough for them. And people looking at the camera, making faces, saying things, making language noises. That's all they need. And I've heard from the exact same person at one point, nobody. It seems like we're not getting any good stories anymore. And a few weeks later, I'm watching The Witcher with my significant other, and it's really good. And I said, but I complain about this, that, and the other, and the response is then, but it entertained me, so it's good. Okay.
I hope that wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you. It was not you. It was not you. It was someone here locally.
I will admit that I have enjoyed the Geralt parts, but that's only because they're a million times better than Yennefer, who can suck a dick and die.
Yeah, it's also those kinds of people that most easily fall to the dumbest and most extreme ideologies because they are incapable of questioning it.
Yeah, they have no. Like I said, there's a lot of people out there who literally their entire life is wake up, go to work, come back home to watch TV, and then that's it, and it's just bright lights. And once you start realizing that that's all it is, you can understand why a lot of people say, "Oh, get over it," because deep down they're going to get over this straight away. In a year's time, this Lord of the Rings series, no one will be talking about it. No one will remember it.
And the thing about and the thing about tyrants is that they have realized long ago, probably intuitively, that these kinds of people exist, and they are okay to be led by the nose. Not that necessarily that they want it, but that's very easy to do. And evil people have no scruples of doing so. So they do it.
It's like,
and that's why we get all this shit. Because people who realize this horrible truth about humanity, but have a conscience, refuse to do that. And that's why the psychopath tyrants have it so easy to get power. And we don't stand up against them because, well, we don't want stress, we don't want the trouble, we don't want to get a target painted on us, and we have too much of a conscience to rally the sheeple, if you want to call them that, around us against the forces of evil. Because that's basically what it is. You have this mass of people that is really, really dumb, and you could have good versus evil fighting, that to put it very, very simplified, but good refuses to recruit from the dumb masses. Evil just does it because they don't give a shit. And good sits and, we really should, it would be really mean to manipulate the people. They should do this out of their free will, which they don't seem to have. And so the good people are just like 12 monkeys or something, 12 guys. And then the girl, and then on the other side are the 12 bad guys and the girl, and but they have recruited all the NPCs into their army, and then it's like, yeah, that's kind of those are shitty odds.
All right, here's a donation from JS. I don't know what this is, but it's certainly out in right field there. Best quote from Who Killed Captain Alex is, Ugandan Bruce Lee, we call him Bruce U.
Yes,
What?
that's a real line.
I don't know what this movie is or what this story is. I couldn't tell you.
You can check it out on YouTube. It's free.
Who Killed Captain Alex?
Yes, it's the best Uganda movie ever.
I've heard that title somewhere.
Second only to Space Cop.
Well, yeah, but Space Cop was not made in Uganda, you know. I mean, it was filmed in Uganda, but yes.
Oh, is that, was it Who Killed Captain Alex? Is that white Ugandan movie? As
Yes.
For it? Okay.
All right.
It's also next to Zulu, the romantic one, yeah.
Okay.
The romantic one. But another point that I'm going to make here is we're going to have all this argument over this Lord of the Rings. The NPCs, wokies are going to make their arguments, and then in a year's time we're going to forget about it, because we've had this argument with, like, we had that argument with The Witcher when it first came out. Everyone's moved on. We had this argument with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Everyone's moved on. We've had this argument with literally everything, constantly. It's the same thing. They kick up a storm, and then the series is really crap, it gets cancelled, and then that's it. I mean, Cowboy Bebop, people brought up about Jet being black, and it's like, who talked about Cowboy Bebop now?
Yeah, no, that is out of all the problems in Bebop, that was probably the smallest one.
Oh yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is that got brought up. Blah 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 blah. Oh, it's over now. Where's everyone? Where all these people who defended Cowboy Bebop? Where are they? Are they still defending it? No, they've moved on to the next thing. It's like, oh, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, see, that's an argument I could actually get behind, because the actor, out of all the other actors and all the other lines and all the other things that's wrong, he did a reasonable, good job, and I would be thankfully they hired that guy, because everyone else they hired was garbage, except that one guy who did a good job of Jet. So
yeah,
it's kind of like, all right, everything else is shit, but they got this black guy to play Jet, and he was awesome. So
yeah, but what my point is all these people who are coming out of the blocks to defend this show, it'll go the exact same way. They'll make all this fuss up saying, oh, you're racist if you don't like it, you're this, you're that, blah 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 blah. The exact same argument, and then
I say you're racist if you like it.
A month later, nothing will matter. The show will fail. It'll get cancelled, and then they'll move on to the next thing because they're not really interested in it. And then we'll just be stood there with a shitty one-season Lord of the Rings thing going. And what was the point of that? And then it will move on to the next thing that does it. It happens all the time. It's why we're going to be ending this video very soon, because we've heard these arguments. They're the same brain dead takes, like I said, that came out with Witcher, came out with Falcon Winter Soldier, came out with everything that we've covered in the past year and a bit. Especially since I've been on Smudcast, I've heard the same arguments constantly over and over and over again, and it's just. No offense, it's got to the point where even my girlfriend is going, oh god, these arguments are all sound the same on the podcast you do.
Yeah, no,
but she can even see it. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we all know this is, to us, the lore argument, and it's always been that way. No one has any, like, as I said, I will get behind a black or white or different colored skinned actor if there are good reasons for, because it doesn't really bother me at the end of the day. At the same time, why can't you just hire a guy who looks like, this is my first argument for adaptations, for live action at least, hire the guy or girl who looks like the guy or the girl in whatever.
But white people are an extreme minority.
Oh yeah?
They have, like, you have to pay them more. It's just very difficult to find white people nowadays.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay. Anyway, one more donation, and we'll get back to the video. Great Scott, Who Killed Captain Alex is my favorite African anime, Smud. If you ever want to watch something so bizarre yet heartwarming, watch it and read about the director. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Was just making clear. I just wanted to say we're basically in the United States media making industry. is basically at large now doing what Uwe Boll did in the 90s and 2000s. Just within, just with added on racist tokenism and ideology. Instead of solely for the cheap paychecks. Uwe Boll was going for video game franchise after video game franchise, made a shitty movie that barely had anything to do with the actual content of the video game, and went on to the next one.
I mean, let's all admit, House of the Dead is a classic of nothing like the video game. There is no.
I mean, I like his Postal adaptation because it's like so close to the insanity.
I think that was the only one that got a remotely good reception.
Yeah, it was the only
decent one. Because that Postal is just doing insane shit.
Also, the creator kills Uwe Boll in the movie.
Thank you.
Because there's like a German.
He knew that he was doing shit.
There was like some German celebration, and Uwe Boll is invited, and then the creator like kills him because he made a movie about him.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yes, and he set his movies up in a way that he would always get the checkboxes ticked to get funding from the German filmmaking fund that is supposed to be for cultural goods and helping young filmmakers. But he was doing that for his big Hollywood productions to just get some extra money. The bloody asshole.
Right. Anyway, let's keep on going. We're not going to go on too much because this line of thought is not worth applying to. So
it's not real.
Oh God!
Here we go.
The Dark Lord Saros.
You do know that this is all a made-up land. You know you can't go to a jewelry store and buy the ring of invisibility. You know.
Oh my God! Yeah, we know.
This made-up land already has rules. You bloody disrespectful asshole! You have no respect for anyone or anything, but you demand respect all the bloody time.
Is this like your dad trying to explain fantasy to you as being not real? It's like, yeah, Dad, we get it.
You can't go to the jewelry store and buy a ring.
Are
you fucking serious?
You can't go to the Walmart at Mordor. It's like, yeah, I know that. Jesus Christ, man. I'm a fantasy fan, not retard.
I mean, I once heard that like Mordor is supposed to be Hungary, but like this just takes the cake.
All right, well, let's just try and get through the next 30 seconds.
Look, this is the ultimate argument for making Wakanda an Aryan nation.
Okay.
What? Oh my God! Yeah, Wakanda doesn't exist. Why you can't go to a jewelry store in Wakanda and buy something? Why shouldn't Black Panther be a 9-foot-tall white Aryan Chad? Why does he have to be a cancer-ridden black guy?
I like Wisp's idea. They're all ginger. It's called Red Panther. They're all red-haired.
I just keep thinking they're just like Red Panda, not Panther. Red Panda.
Red Panda would be an awesome Marvel hero.
Red Panda, the mascot. Red Panda, the mascot of Panda Express.
Imposing and menacing.
Red Panda, it's the mascot of Panda Express.
Instead of a hammer
that Kung Fu Panda needed with Master Shifu.
Yeah, instead of a hammer and sickle, he has like a stick with a marshmallow on it and cotton candy. I don't know.
Right, guys, we're going to have a group meeting. We'll write this down.
Okay.
Netflix will do it.
All right. Anyway,
will they?
Yeah.
We'll just say there's a black guy somewhere. So
they're like, oh my God, man!
Of course you would.
We need to adapt that.
There's also a gay person. We don't tell them in the first episode. The gay and black person die. It's like sex.
Look, Hawk. You know they've been consistently remaking all the ginger characters into black characters.
Yeah.
So we need to, instead of just turning them back into gingers, we take all the characters that were originally black and turn them into gingers.
Well, to be honest with you, the eradication of ginger people isn't too bad. I wouldn't miss them. I mean, ginger is an anagram for the other word. So
I'm at the point where I think that is the reason why they are trying to erase them.
Okay.
At this point, that makes more sense than most.
Yeah, but
it
is very weird. No, I'll be honest with you. It is very weird the fact that all ginger women are being replaced by black women, and it's like, are these people dyslexic? If they see ginger and they just think of another word, they go, "Oh my god, that girl is a nigger."
Or is it that they secretly adore gingers and want to be them, and therefore cast themselves in the roles of gingers?
It's one of life's great mysteries. I will say that.
All right, here's Ron Harushin for the $5. Thank you, sir. Okay, let's see what we got here. This it isn't really argument goes both ways. If it's fictional, why are you and your ilk so hell-bent on putting real elements and races into it? Makes no sense, does it? Huh? He should really think before he sets forth such a thing. He's just trying to re-express what he already said, which is it's not real.
He's what he's trying to say is it's not real. Get over it because it doesn't matter.
A fantasy world has to be authentic, therefore it needs to be internally consistent. It has rules, and for that, how people reproduce over the centuries, especially before this multicultural nonsense that we're doing right now, because we can easily travel to the other side of the globe, which was not possible 100 years ago, for fuck's sake. People stayed in their villages. They didn't mix. You didn't have a black guy in every village. You didn't have a Mongol in every village. You didn't have a Chinese man in every village. And so on and so forth. People look the same in their respective places. And this is a medieval fantasy world. People don't travel much.
Yeah.
They stick with their relatives. People actually, this is a world. Okay, this is something that is very, very hard to comprehend for you American black people. In this time, people stuck with their families. They had parents. They liked their parents most of the time. They had their grandparents. They were also living around, maybe even in the same house, and maybe even the great grandparents. All in the same bloody place. And then they get married around in the same village, in the same town. Everybody knows each other. It's like basically the village is a tribe. One tribe. And that's why they don't like those weird people from the other village, because they do things in weird ways that are just slightly different. Like when they make cheese, they don't stir the pot 5 times, they do it 6 times, and that's just wrong. Come on, it's just like bloody hell. You can't be friends with this. You can't marry the girl from that other village. Do you know how they make cheese?
No, it's like the how
Their own milk.
The old story of like those 2 cities that went to war over how they ate eggs. It's one group put the top of the egg open from the top of the shell, and the other city did it from the bottom, and that's how it started the war. So they couldn't agree which way to eat the egg. So yeah, it's happened for millennia. But as I've said beforehand, Americans don't understand. They just think that everything's American, and that's it.
All right.
Which is extremely disrespectful to other people's cultures.
Anyway, let's see if he has anything new to say in the next 30 seconds. If not, we're going to finish because nothing much to talk about there. So.
You know, all of this is fake. That's why they call it fantasy.
What?
You know, that's people. I don't know what's bothering. Well, I actually do, but that's what I'm going to cover right here. You know, we're not talking about. You know, when you look at these movies, whether it be Lord of the Rings or any other traditional fantasy type,
you don't even know another
property. We're not talking about real geographical locations. You know, we ain't talking about.
He's just repeating himself. Okay.
His argument is, listen, I know I'm mentally retarded, but I learned
I
the
know I
word
don't
fantasy,
understand how
mate.
humans work.
Yeah, no, he's looking for the word fictional, not fantasy. Fantasy is a genre of storytelling. I don't know why he mentioned that, but okay. Anyway, that was I wouldn't say a waste of time because these people think their own way. I don't know what those other two guys have to say. Maybe
I don't think he thinks at all.
Maybe
This is the prime example for people that I call out as if you shot yourself, you'd finally had something in your head.
All right, let me try to get another one of these guys talking. Let me just see.
I mean, if you look at other things, there were Moors and stuff like that came in.
Exactly, but it wasn't completely 100% white because you had a lot of shades of brown. At that point in the Middle Ages, Spain was primarily just brown and black, to be honest. So,
black? Are you retarded?
Okay, enough.
What is wrong with these people? Why do they get audiences?
The Moor Empire was not really that much of a threat in Spain in the Middle Ages.
Why don't these guys get thrown off for misinformation?
Wait, what are we? Wow, no.
All right. We'll call it a day. We'll get some stream memes going.
Also, it was an occupation of tyranny and slavery. Thank you very much.
All right, let's see what we got here. Joe Crazy. Why are you shitting on my plate? How do you know it's shit? It isn't even out yet.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the image. Oh, boy. Okay, this is from 4chan. Looks like Laud Dem Rangs. I can't read the little...
Ooga booga. What does it say? Ooga booga. Oh.
Ooga
Ooga booga Bix News, Return of We Was Kangs.
No.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. Amazon with the Rings showrunner confirms that some elves could use guns instead of bows.
What?
It's a fantasy setting, you moron.
This
isn't real. I refuse.
I know it can be real, but I can't believe that it can.
I refuse.
I love this. Our show takes place thousands of years before the movies. It's not unheard of to think that maybe the technology of guns was lost to time. Nothing is off the table. Okay, so
it can't be lost because the same elves are still around. Elrond and Galadriel were around during this time. They're still around thousands of years later.
I was there when I introduced the gun laws.
I was there. I was there when Isildur refused to throw the Glock into Mount Doom.
I took away your AR-15
in the fire.
I took away the AR-15 from the dwarves.
It's like when that dwarf Kyle Rittenhouse shot those three-armed black men. What's the three?
Look, it's also very. Look, this is okay. This is okay. Run with it because they have black elves, and he wants to introduce guns. So he will give the guns to the black elves, and then they can do black on black crime with guns.
Oh my god! And they wiped each other out, dude. Black elves made 100% of the gun crime.
All right. What's next? In the Second Age, we had black elves and dwarves. What happened to them? We ate them. Elrond during the Second Age. Elrond in the meantime. Oh, boy. Elrond in the Third Age.
I mean, these people are writing that.
Yeah, I know. We're a culture, not a costume. This is not who I am. This is not okay.
Oh, great.
Oh,
perfect. Okay. Hollywood elf. I can't even see that. Japanese elf. I can totally see that.
That is okay.
Yeah, Japanese elves just fine. Nothing wrong with them.
Mm-hmm.
Make awesome movie about the Shango, African thunder god. Oh wow!
Look at that guy.
Holy yeah, he's kind of scary.
Does that look like you want to make a movie about him?
Maybe, I don't know. Could work.
Yeah, he could be played by Will Smith.
Oh
I feel no. He looks like someone out of Zora's Wrath. To be honest with you, Seems like an end boss.
Yeah.
He doesn't look much different in the other
Missed
depictions.
one, German elf 11.
Yes, it's
Nope.
it's pronounced elf.
Nope.
Yes, it is.
Nope.
This is the Elven Prince Arundel from Bound by Flame. This game's elves are masculine and they have beards. Cool.
Oh, right.
Hello there.
That's nice. Yeah. Still genocide the elves. That's
Yeah,
what
that's
I
cool.
want.
That's cool. Yeah. There's every fantasy story has its own flavor.
How many
of
how many
elves.
millennia must an elf live to grow a beard?
Yeah, who knows? Wisp, what is this?
A bomb.
He's gonna cry now.
I'm
Deserts
not gonna
of
cry now.
Africanum. Okay.
No,
It's a map of the Roman Empire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go to
And
the second
Gilly
one. It's zoomed in.
Saxons. Yeah.
Zoomed in. It's Denmark. The Anglo, the Angeln are from Denmark.
Yeah. The point, the major thing is that's not where the name comes from, but Whisper's found something that looks similar. Well
I
done,
see.
Whisper.
Okay. There's Saxons.
Okay. Then we had this in we had this in school with maps with the arrows on it.
Oh yeah, that's
Then apparently that was shit too.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, I can't
Yes.
believe it. It was all socialist teachers.
Oh, we got so far. We got to stream memes
This is great.
before socialism got brought up.
This is probably what should have
I've
happened
brought
in
it up
Canada.
before.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a great truck.
Yeah, that's great.
We've always had dark-skinned elves in fiction. ElfQuest has the sun
Yeah.
folk. They live in the desert.
Yeah, well,
Hello
that's that's fine, but we haven't had dark-haired, skinned elves in Tolkien. That's the problem, really. It's like once you start saying other things, like but other things don't. Yeah, never mind. I don't care.
Here's Joe Crazy, I think. No, thank you. We don't want any more visitors, well-wishers, or distant relations. And here's Amazon. What about woke culture and propagandolf? Oh.
Propaganda! Oh. Why does it also sound like Gandalf's a rapper? Propaganda.
Warrior, I swear I will have my revenge for the death of my brother. Elf, you have my bow. Dwarf and my axe. Necromancer and your brother.
Bruh. Bruh.
That's great.
Wait, hang on,
Bruh.
Mark, do you have a soundboard?
No,
No.
Okay.
He's a ventriloquist.
Bruh.
it's please.
Why are there no white and Asian people in Wakanda? You know, all Wakanda isn't real. Yeah. Pretty much the argument he's using. When Wisp gets angered, this is the only thing I think. You know, I'm a bit of a Prussian myself.
No, this is what really happens when Wisp gets angered.
What the fuck?
And then everyone was genocided. It's fantastic.
The end. And then everyone died. The end.
Anyway,
Let me tell you about Bismarck.
Okay. Back to memes. I'll play the video later. Some people just want to be blackwashed, rewritten, not only the pop culture, but also the actual history. Ad from an upcoming show called The First Swedes, about the first people to settle in what is called, or what is today Sweden. And you got some... I don't know.
Oh my god, whoever's got that soundboard, shut the fuck up. Literally,
this is and this is part of this cultural war historical revisionism shit. They push this stuff and then young people believe it. And the black supremacists anyway. This is not just fun, this is not just jokes. They want to push this. They want to establish the idea that black people were everywhere and have built everything initially, and the next phase is then that all the light-skinned people stole everything from all the black people. This is not harmless. It's not called culture war for funsies. It is a war. that these people are waging.
Yeah,
and it's a very slow one.
This is Wisp
slow and
new avatar.
insidious.
We'll just replace it. Next time.
I don't understand the quote here.
Let them
Okay.
swing.
Let them swing. It was you talking about these people. You wanted to hang them like 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
Oh. You forget about that.
I think this guy is feeding me. This guy is feeding me like chocolate really quickly.
Wisp Unleashed.
Or
Yeah.
rubies. I think it's a ruby. Actually.
Rubies, yes.
I am not that heavy.
Peak African culture. Ramon Film Productions. Wakaliwood presents
Yes.
Uganda's first action movie. Who killed
Who
Captain
killed the Captain Alex?
Alex? Expect the
Yeah.
unexpectable. Huh? What? Unexpectable?
Expectable?
Yeah. It's a word.
Not the right one.
Unexpectable is a word. Just not in any dictionary that I know of, but it's still a word.
What is happening here? We got a meme.
I don't know. I've looked over this image at least 5 times. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at here.
I think the comment on the right side that he brought up that why are there no white and Asian people in Wakanda? You all know Wakanda isn't real. And then somebody replies to that you have failed to make a point. Even though that's the exact same point that they are making in the video.
Yeah.
Really? Jesus fucking Christ! I'm just like these people are fucking stupid. They are.
Like that's anything new.
Yeah, but you have to think that there's some poor tree out there pumping oxygen out so that a retard like that can breathe. It's like, guys, nature doesn't deserve this level of shit.
God, don't give any more of these people oxygen.
All right. Here's Wisp again. Know your place, peasant. Okay.
Yeah.
1995 Pixar. What if toys had feelings? 2007. What if rats had feelings? 2006. What if cars had feelings? 2015. What if feelings had feelings? That's good. 2020.
It was a good movie.
What if black people had feelings? 2022. What if Canadians had feelings?
Okay, the black people was kind of offensive, but Canadians, come on.
Oh man, that was great.
They took smut into account for that one.
Yeah, me and my truckers, me and my people shipping in all that chicken into Toronto.
I love the fact that Trudeau has like embraced fascism.
Yeah, he's amazing, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's just steamrolling over the Canadian people. It's all in place that basically in a week they can start shooting the protesters, and there will be no repercussions for the police.
It's like we go to see the Albertans and how they dealt with their border crisis. It's like, yeah, you get parking tickets, please go home, and then they did.
There's outage at 5 big banks in Canada. I think that's saying a lot.
The banks are like totally scared of what to do because now that they have all these powers, they're like, oh, what do we do? I don't want to touch anyone's bank account.
Thanks, Trudeau.
Yeah, the thing is, if they start doing what Trudeau wants them to do, they fuck themselves. No one will ever use them.
People are going to leave those banks. They're going to go to American banks. They're going to go anywhere else. And
because the thing is, even people who support Trudeau will think, well, one day I might not support what he does.
Oh, he's done. There's no if people still vote for him. I'm going to move out of Ontario because they're all getting elected by Ontarians, and it's just ridiculous. I can't stand the fact that my assets can be frozen just because I donated to an opposing political party for whatever. I could have felt generous. I just want to give someone money that day. I don't believe a thing in either party, and I could have my entire life savings gone.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. It is fascism. That is like straight up fascism.
You may as well bleed
it's the communists who brought it. What a surprise!
Yeah, you may as well just bleed us dry and just say, "Get the hell out of our country," and that's what we're going to do. So, anyway,
it's disgusting.
Taiwan.
What weapons? Maple leaves.
Taiwan superhero Panda Man. Ooh, that looks cool. I'd check that movie out. Yeah, why not?
But the thing is, guys, also remember that what's he's called? Double Toasted will probably say, "Don't worry about Canada; it's a make-believe country."
It's not real. Yeah,
it's not real. You can't go to a jewelry store in Canada and buy a ring.
Okay, here's Disney's version of the Red Panda. So cool. I think
that's not a superhero.
Is it just Kung Fu Panda in red?
No. He bounces around houses, rooftops.
Is that actually a superhero, or is it just a giant panda?
I think it's a fox.
It's just a girl turning into a panda.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
I remember seeing the trailer. I just don't remember what it was about. This guy's a massive hypocrite. He said Uncharted. Okay, I don't know which Uncharted, but the whole series, I guess, should be faithful to the source, and now say Lord of the Rings is okay because it's fantasy. Okay, let's just check it his quote. Uncharted movie review 2022. Double Toasted today on Double Toasted. We have our Uncharted review. Is that the first one? Okay, in this funny video, we look at the Uncharted trailer before going in depth. Okay, so it looks like the marketing material. We discussed the Uncharted Tom Holland casting along with other casting decisions. Okay, so he's not doing just the game. He's doing the marketing. He's doing the
You could
movie.
just read all the sentences and you would know what it's about.
Yeah.
We discussed the Uncharted in depth into our Uncharted movie review. So he's comparing the games to the movie.
Yeah. It's okay when he does it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Always. These people are not honest. They're not good people.
All right.
Yeah.
They will always lie.
Here is Pokalefi again. Thank you, sir. Warwick, I swear I will have my revenge for the death of my brother. Elf, you have my bow. Dwarf.
It's the same meme, but with the picture.
I know, it's great.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
I love it.
Yeah.
And your brother. It's like, oh.
No. But I'll go. I wish he was dead. Thank you.
All right. Letter 210, Tolkien's letters. The canons of narrative in any medium cannot be wholly different. And if the failure of poor films is often precisely an exaggeration and an intrusion of unwarranted matter owing to not perceiving where the core of the original lies. Even back then, Tolkien knew.
Oh, they do perceive. I do think they can perceive it. They just don't care.
Well, the people who own Tolkien's content should know better.
They do, but they don't care. They just want to
specifically
abuse the
said
content.
that they don't care and they want to create something that's not gonna belong in the Tolkien universe.
Yes, please stop thinking these people are just dumb and ignorant. They are malicious. They do all of this intentionally.
Here is the next meme of well, I would say the next, but really the first one of Trudeau. Welp, I'm off to destroy Canada. They've had it too good for too long.
Rest in peace, Norm.
But they're too good. They're Canadians.
Yeah, I don't know where you're getting. We're having it too good in this minus 20-degree weather, but okay.
You're too nice people.
Canada's
Just let them all
superhero,
do it.
Red Panda Adventures. I've never heard of that.
All right. Nor have I. I will look this up because I do like red pandas now for some reason.
Panda Adventures. Yeah, what the heck is that? I've never heard of that. Anyway, cool stuff. We made it fun, guys. I'm glad everyone's here to laugh at this stuff because it's ridiculous. And Wisp, you could maybe lay off the genocide a bit, but that's okay. We're used to it.
Yeah. Well, Wisp German. We got to get used to genocide.
Yeah, it's a cultural thing. It's normal.
It's ingrained. It's ingrained in like Wisp's DNA of like genocide.
We could maybe start recognizing that these people want to commit genocides.
Oh, they couldn't commit and piss up in a brewery, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, then they just enable others who will.
No, I would never let that happen.
All right.
You have my words. I would never let the German. I would never let anyone harm you, Wisp. Don't worry.
Well, it's almost 2 hours worth, guys. Thanks a lot. That was fun.
How have we done 2 hours?
We stretched it out. We had a good time. It was fun.
Oh yeah, Wisp had a massive 40-minute rant. I remember that. Yeah.
Was that 40 minutes?
Probably.
I don't know. I lost track after you went in black fuckface, but yeah.
All right.
Hey, we've been here in Germany. We've been indoctrinated from childhood to call out racism and fascism and not give it an inch. I'm doing that.
I'm doing my part.
Just pet little Wisp on the head. Yeah.
Yeah. Well done.
One scream at a time.
Yes, one rant at a time. So tomorrow is Weeb Day or Manga Monday Madness Day or whatever you want to call it. Please bring your suggestions in for any manga, anime related ideas for videos. We'll be happy to cover them. If not, they're not videos, we can cover topics and we can go over those as well. Either they're blog posts or entire sections. I don't mind. It's okay by me. As long as it's not about Canadian politics, because I'm getting my fill of that every day. So,
well, you are Canadian, so I hope you are getting some of Canadian politics.
I'd rather just like drown my food in maple syrup and just eat that than watch the news anymore. So, anyway, thank you so much for tuning in with us, and take it easy. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.